Hundreds of residents in Kilimanjaro region and neighboring regions of Arusha and Manyara turned up at Moshi Heroes Grounds to pay last respects to the bodies of 20 people who lost their lives when a stampede occurred during a rush to tread on blessed oil at the end of religious gathering held by Prophet Boniface Mwamposa. The occasion was attended by government, political and religious leaders who said there are lessons to be learned by religious leaders from this incident.
It is how death occurs. We are not scared of death, but it is how someone dies. There is death as a result of natural catastrophe. However, what happened a couple of days ago was avoidable. It was deliberate, caused by deceit. Spiritual leaders, today we have to apologize to families affected. Let us not capitalize on people's needs. Those of us who use holy books, let us use them responsibly. I urge the government to better regulate churches. We commend the government for steps taken, firstly by preserving the departed together and holding this work here at Mashujaa Stadium. The next step is for those of us to bury our dead today, and there are those that will have to be buried later. We must search for God, but we must also address our human weaknesses. So on behalf and that of other leaders, I convey their condolences. And his message is that we must address our weaknesses and not to shut down spiritual services. In this regard, this has shocked us, but it should not break us. I ask spiritual leaders, government leaders, as well as the general public to work together. Let it be a catalyst to positive changes.
And President Dr. John Magufuli has given his condolences following the recent incidents of the deaths, including that of 10 soldiers in Msata who lost their lives during a training session, while 5 others are receiving treatment at Lugalo Military Hospital in Dar es Salaam. President Dr. John Magufuli gave the condolence message at State House after swearing in various government leaders, including the heads of the Rescue and Fire Force and the Prison Force.
Walikuwa kwenye mazoezi ya jeshi la wananchi, nao walifariki. Kwa hiyo tuendelee kumwomba Mungu.
Let us keep praying to the Almighty to protect us. Let us also keep praying for those injured, for a speedy recovery. Our God is good and loves this country, and this is why I commend spiritual leaders for placing this nation in his hands. And our God will help us through this.
Baada ya masaa kama mawili hivi, baadhi ya vijana wakaanza kuishiwa nguvu.
After about 2 hours, some of them became weak and were attended by fellow students and doctors, but they became weaker and had to be sent to the hospital. But they started to diarrhea and vomit, so we had to refer them to Lugalo Hospital. Sadly, some of them passed away.
Kwanza ni kwamba nilipaswa kuijua serikali. Mimi sio mtaalamu wa umeme, lakini inabidi uzungumzie umeme.
I'm not an electricity specialist, but I must speak about it. I'm not an economist neither, but I must speak about the economy, so I had to study because I represent the government. In the last 3 years, we've had a couple of disasters, such as the Kagera earthquake and the MV Nyerere tragedy, which affected us as a nation, and I had to speak on behalf of the government and inform the general public.
Yalikuwepo matukio ambayo yaliturudisha nyuma kidogo kama taifa.
More than 80 million shillings has been raised from fines imposed on students who burnt down dormitories at Kiwanja Secondary School in October last year by Mbeya Regional Commissioner Albert Chalamila. The money has been used to build a new dormitory which can house 124 students. The students were given the penalties to pay the fines after they were caned by the Regional Commissioner, who was angered by the students' actions of setting the dormitories on fire.
A total of 82 million was collected, 70 million has been spent, and we expect this project to be finished soon.
Lakini pia kwa wilaya yangu niliweza kufanya sehemu yangu, wadau ambao tunaishi nao hapa Chunya.
We were able to work with our stakeholders and managed to collect 25 million, which was used for the renovation. Contributions from parents was also used to build a new dormitory.
Kwa wazazi wa wale watoto ambao walishiriki kwa namna moja ama nyingine kuunguza yale mabweni, tumepata bweni jipya.
The government of Kilwa in Lindi region has closed all 16 camps which were established for flood victims from various parts of the region last week. The flood victims have been allocated land by the district council to make new settlements.
Sasa katika zoezi la kuwanusuru ndugu zetu hawa ambao
an evaluation was done in 2 villages whereby we expect to evaluate 2,000 plots for one village and 3,000 for another one.
Na juu ya yote yaliyotukuta,
I'm grateful for assistance given to get to this stage. We are truly thankful we have been allocated land for settlement so we can settle down into a better place.
Mimi nasema natoa shukrani kwa ngazi ya serikali.
The Chief Justice of Tanzania, Professor Ibrahim Juma, has called on judges from Commonwealth countries to change according to the speed of change, particularly in giving verdicts in order to provide timely justice. Chief Justice Professor Ibrahim Juma made the call when opening a meeting attended by judges from Tanzania and the UK.
Itabidi tubadilike sisi majaji.
We must change as judges and begin to give a press summary of the sentence so messages can be sent and understood by the people. We have a good judiciary system that can serve every citizen. Our country is investing more and there are visitors coming in every day. So the environment is conducive to reflect our changed status.
The Minister of Health, Community Development, Gender, the Elderly and Children, Umi Mwalimu, has said more needs to be done to address the problem of cancer due to increase of various cancer cases caused by lifestyles which do not adhere to good health habits. Minister Umi Mwalimu made the statement in Dar es Salaam during an event to mark World Cancer Day and launch of national guidelines on cancer treatment at Ocean Road Institute. Meanwhile, the Minister of Health has conducted an inspection visit at Julius Nyerere International Airport to witness screening measures being taken against the coronavirus.
Chanjo hii ya kuwakinga wasichana na saratani ya mlango wa kizazi.
This vaccination is to protect young girls against cervical cancer. It has nothing to do with family planning. I would like to urge parents and guardians to take your girls to be vaccinated.
Ya uzazi. Kwa hiyo niendelee kutoa wito na rai kwa wazazi wenzangu na walezi.
And some members of parliament have expressed concern on ministers who have stopped undertaking their responsibility of overseeing policies and instead have become involved with executive activities after seeing financial opportunities. The members of parliament pointed out the concerns when contributing to reports from the parliamentary committees of livestock, agriculture and water, and the land and natural resources as well as tourism.
Hatuwezi kuendesha nchi kwa namna hiyo kwa sababu kazi zenu mawaziri mmeacha kushughulika na masuala ya.
We cannot run the country like this. Ministers, you've abandoned issues on policies. We had hoped a minister will manage policies. Operations is not your responsibility. You like to form committees because you know there is money. The needs of the people should come first.
Zile vijiji vitangazwe rasmi ili
Villages must be officially announced so that the people can be assured, as this will reduce conflict.
Wizara ifanye juhudi za makusudi kuhakikisha wavuvi wanapata soko.
The ministry must make a deliberate effort to ensure that fishermen have a stable market for their products, as well as make fish available at an affordable price.
Lisitokane na faini zinazopatikana kutokana na makosa ya wavuvi.
3 police officers from Njombe region were killed in a road accident which involved a police vehicle with registration number PT3734 and a bus belonging to Shalom Company with registration number T349CXD with routes between Njombe and Arusha regions. The accident occurred near Njombe police station after the bus collided into the police vehicle when it was leaving the station and entering the Makambako-Songea road en route to deploy officers at their workplaces. 1 out of 7 police officers suffered serious injuries and will be transferred to Muhimbili National Hospital for further treatment.
Basi hilo liligonga bodi ya gari ambalo polisi walikuwa wamebebwa.
The bus crashed against a police vehicle which had passengers on board, resulting in the death of 3 police officers and some were wounded. One of the casualties is badly injured and will be referred to Muhimbili National Hospital.
Tumepata jumla ya majeruhi.
We've received 7 casualties and 3 fatalities.
Watu watatu walikuwa tayari wameshapoteza maisha.
And that is all for national news. International news follows just next. In international news, with locusts continuing to spread in over 11 counties in Kenya, Kenyans have expressed fear of the occurrence of severe food shortage in the country, with millions of the insects continuing to cause destruction of crops. Meanwhile, in Mombasa, Kenya, 1 student has been admitted in a special room at Coast General Referral Hospital after showing signs of the coronavirus. The student, known as Shukri Jamal Mahmood, a resident of Likoni, had just returned from China on the 30th of January, where he was studying medicine at Wanzhou University. The Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, is this evening arrived at the capital city of Uganda, Kampala, on a 1-day official visit. Netanyahu is accompanied by over 40 councillors and was received by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Dr. Rukana Rugunda, at Entebbe International Airport.
Tunataka Israeli kuwe rafiki yetu.
At least 18 civilians have been killed by unidentified gunmen on motorbikes in northern Burkina Faso, according to security sources, in the latest violence to rock a region plagued by a swiftly deteriorating security situation. Heavily armed men on motorbikes on Saturday attacked Lam Damol village in Bani municipality north of the capital. And that is all for international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
We believe that the driver is the customer.
To change the mindset of traditional HR to the digital
industrialization.
Make sure that everybody can get some access to financial services.
And once we understand the vision of our leaders, we then need to be behind them and help them in achieving that vision.
Business have involved mercantile operations, trade guilds, or shared agricultural production. Infrastructure, construction, financial sectors, tourism, and mining. Business edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office for Investment, Angela Kairuki, has said that changes in the country's investment law will help alleviate challenges and bureaucracy, as well as speed up Tanzania Investment Center takes pace in highlighting investment attractions in the country, especially in the industrial sector.
Ambacho nakisema ni kwa sasa tumeshaanza kuandaa sheria.
We have already begun to prepare laws. That is the Business Facilitation Act, which will be completed any time from now and will be submitted to Parliament. The same applies for the investment law. It is one that has been there for a long time and things have been changing, so we must adjust accordingly.
Linganisha na nchi zingine duniani.
They look at providing employment opportunities for their youth first, and all other things will happen within that. But their priority is employment for their youth and making sure that they get an income. The use of an electronic system to run auctions of unpaid goods at the port of Dar es Salaam has helped increase the number of auction participants, reduced congestion of goods, and increased tax collection from less than 1 billion to 1.4 billion shillings per month. The use of electronic systems to run auction activities has been beneficial. We have increased the number of participants. Many have taken part and at an affordable price. We used to collect less than 1 billion shillings per month, but just in January, from the 1st to the 24th, based on our reports, we had collected 1.4 billion shillings, and we have spent only a small amount of money to get this money. Thus, this system is a productive one. You need to review these agents who supply machines. If possible, they should be removed or another system be put in place, because there's been a lot of sabotage when it comes to collecting taxes. Small-scale handicraft entrepreneurs from villages in Monduli district have complained of entrepreneurs who purchase their products at very low prices and sell them at exorbitant amounts to tourists, something which is hindering their efforts to escape from poverty. They buy from us, then leave here to go sell our work in Arusha and in art shops. They pay us very little amount of money in comparison to what we need and what they go and sell them for. So we are working in very difficult environment. Secondly, those of us with disabilities have challenges in carrying heavy batches of our work to take to shops. We need to not only involve these three groups I have mentioned, but also women with disabilities and youth need to expand their markets. Thus, we have seen the need to also involve private organizations. That they are to conduct business has been mentioned, despite the fact that I've been told that the council has given you market areas for business. If they're not enough, we will reassess, evaluate, and work on it so that you youth can have somewhere to conduct business.
Tutalishughulikia ili vijana muwe na mahali pa kufanyia biashara.
That's where we leave off with business news. Sports is up next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
And in sports. After winning 11 medals at this year's Special Olympics Africa Zone in Egypt, the Special Olympics organization of the country has urged stakeholders to help in the long-term preparations the national team needs to engage in so as to participate fully in the 2022 Special Olympics Africa Zone competitions to be held in Rwanda, as well as the 2023 World Competitions to be held in Berlin, Germany.
The
Special Olympics Board gave tickets for the players and coaches, so we're very thankful for this. We have learned from these competitions that Tanzania is still far behind. Other countries took many players, 40, 50, up to 100, and we were only 5. This is truly embarrassing, as it may seem that we do not care about people with disabilities or do not see their importance. So I call upon the community to help us.
Watu wengi wanasupport. Na nchi nyingi ambazo zimetaka kule supportiwa na nchi zao, serikali zao ndio support.
Basketball players in Tanga have said that they will continue to remember the significant impact made by the late Kobe Bryant in basketball, as even in Tanga, many players joined the sport due to his talent on the court.
Kiukweli ule msiba ni wa kila mmoja.
The funeral affected everyone who knows basketball, because he is someone who has been inspiring a lot of people in life and in sports, especially for us upcoming youth. We would spend a lot of time on YouTube watching Kobe games and moves and learning from him.
Msiba wa Kobe kweli umetuuma. Obvious, unajua kimfano mimi umri wangu ndio umri niliokuwa wakati Kobe yupo kwenye peak ya game.
Kobe's passing has been painful. I grew up as Kobe was in the peak of his game, and even if you go around our courts, you will always find someone called Kobe due to the way he facilitated the game within the match and outside the match.
Ulizia mtoto mwingine sasa, kizazi kinachokuja kilikuwa kimfahamu vizuri Kobe. Inabidi wewe tena ndo uanze kuelezea Kobe alikuwa na mtu aina gani.
Patrick Mahomes produced a staggering fourth-quarter performance to guide the Kansas City Chiefs to their first Super Bowl win in 50 years as they came from 10 points behind to stun the San Francisco 49ers 31-20 in Miami. Quarterback Mahomes, 24, had endured a difficult evening under the pounding pressure of the 49ers and looked set to miss out on the big prize. But then, with his side 20-10 down heading into the fourth quarter, last year's MVP found 2 superb throws on the third down to continue a season of comebacks as the Chiefs scored 21 unanswered points in 4 minutes and 57 seconds to take home the Vince Lombardi Trophy. Damian Phillips' second touchdown of the final quarter put the gloss on the scoreline as the Chiefs capped their wonderful late rally before celebrating a famous win in emotional scenes. Stephen Berwin marked his debut with a superb volley as Tottenham won a bad-tempered Premier League affair with 10-man Manchester City to boost their top four's hopes. The result lifts Spurs to 5th, 4 points behind 4th place Chelsea, while City remain second, 22 points behind leaders Liverpool, who can win the title on 21st March when they play Crystal Palace. The 22-year-old's goal came with Spurs' first shot on target after Alexander Zinchenko had been dismissed for a second yellow card, and City midfielder Ilkay Gundogan had seen a first-half penalty saved by Hugo Lloris. Son Heung-min's efforts, which deflected off Ferdinando as it flew past City goalkeeper into the bottom left corner, confirmed a valuable victory for the hosts. And in the USA, Webb Simpson birdied the last 2 holes before beating Tony Finau in a playoff to win the Phoenix Open in Arizona. The 34-year-old American two-putted from 50 feet on the 17th and then holed a 17-foot attempt on the last, while Finau missed an 8-foot putt to win. That left the players tied to 17 under, and Simpson claimed his 6th PGA Tour title with another birdie putt from 10 feet at the first extra hole. And that sports item ends our news bulletin. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and good night.